Hello, welcome to Cinema Rust Productions. My name is John, I am an editor and cameraman, and I work for a channel called Bugandai Studios, where I edit short-form content and movies. And on this channel, I'm pretty much going to be talking about editing workflow, how things are edited, and certain things about being a cameraman, maybe some stories as well. So stay tuned for that sort of thing on this channel. First of all, I'd like to talk about some editing things that I have learned on DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use for editing. I'm self-taught myself. I've been editing for quite a few years now, about a year more on DaVinci Resolve. But yeah, I will be talking about some things I do when it comes to editing, and yeah, so let's get into it. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about is this pretty advanced scene here. In space, basically, outer space. I developed this for Bugandai Studios. It is a space scene that basically pans to the spaceship right here, which is a model, by the way. Pretty cool model. And then it basically goes into full drive, or whatever you want to call that. And then it gets a little laggy here. My computer's pretty good, it's a lot. This is planet Zion here, which this is how it's spelled right here. Let me find where the text is. Right here. This is how it's spelled right here. But yeah, it was pretty complex to edit. So I'll show you some of the workflow that I had to do to make this happen. So you zoom out here, and this is your little Fusion page, which I work on mostly. You have your P emitter and your P render over here. This basically renders the whole entire scene. Let's see. So this over here, I believe, is the yeah, this is the spaceship. So this is the model that I added. And I have a little shake effect here that makes the that makes it shake when it's launching. And then I convert it into an image plane and merge it into the 3D. And basically I added some rays to happen around here and just increase the values to where I like it. And then just use the transform on the image plane to make it go forward and blast. And of course, it goes to the planet, it fades out for a minute, and then it goes to the planet Zion, which this is very complex to edit here. I had to do multiple things. This over here is a separate thing that wasn't really actually added into the final composition, or this as well. These are just extras that I was messing around with. I don't know why I merge this here. There we go. So, as you can see, as I move around, it renders in full time, the stars and everything. So as you can see, this right here, it emits stars in the background. These are my settings if you'd like to copy them and make your own stars or whatnot. But yeah, it goes into a custom, where I basically make the particles move around. As you can see, the stars are moving. And then the render that goes into the merge. Now, this right here is the planet. Now, the planet was pretty complex. It starts with a median, goes into a color corrector. This is just the JPEG of the planet, which you can download online, pretty much. Here, let me do that. That's a lot better. Okay, but yeah, you could download a JPEG basically of a high definition planet, like an Earth, or anything really. Then a color corrector is needed, and then a transform, so that you can transform it like that. So yeah, this color corrector, basically you can change the color of the planet, which is pretty funny. I don't know why you would want to change the color of the Earth, but yeah, it's a possibility if you wanted to do that. I mainly did it so that I can lower the saturation level a bit to make it look more natural. Then you got the shape, which is obviously a sphere. You don't want a cube planet. That just kind of looks weird, doesn't it? The Earth is actually flat. Kidding. Anyways, yeah, I have that. I transformed it to be in the correct location, of course. This ward is basically to block some of the sunlight out here, to remove that because it's annoying. Yeah, I merged it into there, added some directional lighting so that it would look more proper and whatnot. Rendered it, added some of the rays at the start of it right here. And just connected it to the media out, yeah. And then for the rings, I came up here and I added fusion compositions. Now, these rings are decently complicated. I'm not going to explain them fully. But basically, these rings are... It's basically a particle emitter that goes in a circle. Like this, round and around. And this is basically used for the portal. But I use a time stretch to make it so that it doesn't activate that. So it just stays still. So that's what's used as these rings that goes around the planet. That's how I did that. Then I just added of course, the model here. I added the model on and I just transformed it when it needed to be transformed. So yeah, it's decently complex, but it's not too complex. And then I just added the sound effects here. I'll show you the final footage in just a second here, but yeah. I think I like how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty well. Didn't take too long to edit, but did take a little bit. A little bit of adjustment. So, yeah. Stay tuned for more content coming out very soon about editing and how I do certain things. Thank you for watching. This has been Cinema Rose Productions. See ya.